What's up, everybody? Thanks for jumping on. We're about to get into our quick spaces conversation. Shout out to everybody that's been playing the In the Name of Love single. We'll get a couple of us just to get on the call. At 8 o'clock, we go live with the interview on Skwatta Kamp. It's not really an interview. We're actually answering the questions that most of y'all have had on Facebook. Because, I mean, how in the world are we going to do an interview when I'm part of the group? So we're answering most of those questions. And I got Real on the line. I got Smacks on the line. I'm trying to see if I can get the other cats in. Let's give them a minute or two. And then we'll jump in. And if you have any questions, we could get it in. You know what I mean? Thanks for tuning in. 8 o'clock, we'll go live with the Skwatta Kamp interview. It's an interview. It's more like answering your questions on Facebook. I had a lot of questions on Facebook. So yeah, let's wait it out. Give it another minute, and then we open up the table. Rilo, Smacks, y'all want to say something? Yeah, I invited to speak here. You can also go stream the album while we're at it. You can go stream, well, at least the pre-release of the album on Apple Music. If you go to Spotify, the new single, I think is number 3 on the playlist. It's got a playlist. It's got over 1 million followers. I think it's number 3 on the playlist right now. So you can hear the new single.
Wow.
No
Slick.
Okay.
Yeah, brother. Since I'm spaces when we are Safuna la.
Okay. Uyazi ukuthi ngiyahlafuna.
Yeah, brother, siyakuzwa. We can hear you Safuni. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go for it, you know?
Okay, let me stop.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Rita's been here for a minute. She hasn't told me that, you know?
The technology is chowing reload. But let's go for it.
Who really knows Twitter? This is Tom Big Pay, about voice
reload, you need to, I don't know, you need to press those 3 buttons. Sound.
Let me invite it to speak. I've invited it to speak.
Come on, Slick. Come on, Slick.
I've invited it to speak.
The technology shower.
No, we have invited her to speak. Now, please let me ask that. Hey.
Yeah.
No, I'm done.
But me, I'll get to.
I'm done. Keep going.
This adulting thing is serious. I don't think what's this thing? You must go to a quiet place, like when you have a team's meeting. What's wrong?
No, I'm in a quiet place. After hours. How are you going to tell a 3-year-old that you're that like in the spaces? What the fuck? You know? She's going to grow old and the spaces thing is going to be as old as SABC, and she's going to be like, you're ignoring me for what? You know? All right, let's go. Let's get it in. Let's start. Rilo, can you check? Rilo, are you in?
Okay, we'll keep trying. We'll keep trying, Rilo. But yo, let's get into it, my brother. Let's get. I don't know if everybody's got any questions, but I'm keen to start definitely speaking, or I can just speak.
Let me hit up McCoy, the real McCoy. Let me hit him up. Let me check. All right,
I'm gonna bring everybody up to speed.
Makoya, unmute your mic, bro. Unmute your mic.
Hello, Skwatta.
Hola, Makoya. What up, brother?
Hey, I'm good. How are you, Chase?
No. Simnandi Jaya.
Man, I'm so glad to have you back. I've been listening to In the Name of Love like almost every day. In fact, every day. It was a good track, man. So, my question is, can you expect an album very soon?
Yeah, my brother, definitely. Actually, like if you go to the thing, if you go to the social, not the social, the digital streaming platforms, when you order the single, you actually get it from a pre-order. So as you download In the Name of Love, you can also pre-order the album. And then
Yo, can you guys hear me?
Yes,
we can hear you, Rilo. You made it.
Hello. Oh yeah, I'm here.
Salute. No, guys. So as you go on, like literally any of the social digital platforms, not social, any of the digital streaming platforms, when you order the album, Spotify, Apple Music, you can definitely just pre-order there, Magoya. It's up there, 1st of July. That's the date that's been put on. You'll notice it's called SVN. You know, of course, that's the play on. Yeah, you know, so sex, violence, and nudity, because I guess we're always known to be a bit vulgar, you know, but also besides that, you know, it's actually paying homage to the number 7, you know, because this is our 7th album. And then, yeah, you know, so 7th album, and I mean, there was always call it the theory or the narrative of the 7 rappers, you know. So was paying attention to that, you know, 7 rappers, 7th album. And actually, even at the time when we did it, and the other gents had left us, there was still 7 of us, being, you know, myself, Boza, Nemza, Slick, Rilo, it actually Nish was still around, and then we had Peter, who is, you know, also, you know, one of our partners, and, you know, a part of the team from a management point of view. So there was still 7 when we came up with the title. So it was, you know, the 7 back then, the 7 now, the 7th album. So like 777 type effect. Yeah, so that's what's up, Makoya. What I wanna know, Makoya, who came first? You or Tila? Who came first? I'll say it's you, my brother. I'll say it's you. I'll go for you.
Shout out, Makoya. Thanks, human. Thanks for your question. Just move on to Udamdi. Damdi, I think Udam Diesel. Dam Diesel. His full name is Dam Diesel. I went through to his page. Let's add him as a speaker. Makoya, thanks for your question, man. Shout out to you. Let's see what Dam Diesel has to say, man. Dam Diesel will be connecting you right now. We're about to go live at 8 o'clock. In the next 20 minutes, we go live with the Skwatta Kamp conversation where we're answering all your questions from Facebook or the things that you guys have been asking us. Dam Diesel, jump in, Maji.
Yeah. Hey, how's the Slikour? Can you guys hear me? How's the Skwatta Kamp?
Yo, my brother.
Nijan Napil.
Speedy the putwa, speedy the Savonga man. Yo, Slick Fagu real over here. She's gone off again.
Yeah. Nyamfaga.
Yeah,
no, she's still like a co-host, so she's still a co-host. But she's still a co-host.
Yeah, well, okay. I'm a little bit starstruck being on the show right now, so I'm a little bit nervous.
No need, my brothers. It's okay, Tumbi.
Yeah, it's
Who sends are nervous? You're making us nervous, bro.
Good to hear from you guys. You guys have a legacy of a career in a whole as a Skwatta Kamp and also individually. I'm honored to be over here. I don't even have a question. Cool, I just requested to be on just because I was.
Just J, Tandon J.
Yeah, just J.
Just J, yeah.
Yeah. She was like,
thanks for the J, J love.
Yeah. No, definitely. Thanks, Slikour, for having me on. Thanks for the movement, the Slick on Life movement. It perpetuates the rap culture, the hip hop rap culture.
Sure, man. Thank you. Diesel. Let's keep going, man.
Thank you.
Let's go on.
Them Diesel, and thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for tuning in, man. Let's go into that caller. Please remember that the interview is about to go live right now. It's Skwatta Kamp in the next 17 minutes. The album is available on streaming platforms as a pre-order. In fact, so we already got all the songs ready. It just has in the name of La Buma Mageko, and there we go. Those are the 3 songs that you'll be able to get right now. But the full album is already ready for pre-order. Dakola, what's happening, bro?
Sleek for Shangan guy, you are terrible. And this is Dakalo.
Bro, imagine.
I Sleek guy, you are the West Shangan. You used to be the number 1 Shangan, but now
no, mfana wena ungaphathi wena. Angithi mfana uDakalo uzosho ukuthi ubani igama lakhe. Uyasikidaza.
Yo, what up, fam? What up, Slikour? What up, Shug?
Hola, Takalo. And
Relo's also in the building finally. I think she can speak now. What's up, Relo?
What up, Bree? I hope everybody's good. Can I shoot?
Yeah,
shoot.
Yeah, I see. Like, okay, obviously the whole gang is not here yet. I think it might have been a question that the whole gang could have answered better. But I just want to ask, like, you guys came through, took over, big waves, man. Listened to y'all for probably over a decade by now, right? But I only got one question. Like, when you guys entered the industry and everything, being that you guys were a crew pretty large in numbers, like, didn't you guys have trouble, like, when it came to splits and masters? Did you guys fight with your labels, or did you guys fight amongst each other at some point? Did some people feel robbed? Did some people get production rights, composing rights? Like, how did it work when it came to y'all? Was it more of a brotherhood handshake thing, or was it more of a corporate down to the paper? Like, I'm just trying to figure out the whole blueprint.
Oh, Nemza's here. He'd also be a good guy to answer the question.
Because he's the one that fights the most.
I don't see him on speaker. Did you guys bring him up?
Yeah, Slikour, just bring him up there. I see he's here. But
I see him. He's gonna come up. I've added him as a co-host. I've invited him to speak also.
Oh, all right. No, so while wait for Nemza to come in. Relo, do you want to speak on that?
Hey, what's up, guys? Finally, I'm on. It didn't brief us on the station. So, the one thing about Skwatta is that everything's been fair from day one. I think when it came to splits of anything, it's always been. Well, right now it's probably going to be better, but or am I talking?
Yo, I'm losing you a bit, Relo. I'm losing you. I'm not sure. It's inconsistent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come again there.
For us, it's always been equal.
Yeah, we're losing you there. We're losing you.
Okay, no, I'll come in a bit while we wait for Relo to come in there.
Could really hear her.
No. So how it's always worked, my brother, is that when it comes to the songs, if you are on a song, it was split equally, regardless, sometimes like, I guess it was unfair for the guys that wrote some of the choruses, but every song was split like seven ways or 8 ways or 6 ways, depending whoever was on the song. If you went on the song, then you didn't get a share in it, you know. And then like in terms of the masters, really, I think like like especially post the Gallo era, like um, with Gallo, it was different because they, literally owned those masters and we just signed as artists. So we went from independent to being signed as artists, which I probably we shouldn't have done. And then we went back to independence, you know. But I mean that was just purely based on the marketing support and everything we get, but of course still keeping your publishing rights. By the time we went to EMI, that was like a joint venture whereby we were like on a 50-50 with them. And then everything after that and everything before Gallo is owned essentially by the group, you know? So it's always been a case of like equal splits. We take the group's money, and we whatever asset we have, be it video, be it music, it is then for the group. I mean, there was of course there's a management cut, for things that get done. But I mean, like actually, like even now, those structures have even changed, whereby the whole formula is different. And whatever we get, we just split equally, and whatever we get, we even still split. Whatever there is with Flabber gets his share, Nish gets his share, and we keep it moving. So yeah, it's not like it's one of those things which are that the less people there are, the more we have. No, the less people there are, just more work, but same pay. But it's all good, and we love it like that.
Yeah, so the splits are pretty equal, even for the brothers that have left us. The money's still the same. We split the money the same when we do get paying opportunities. So everything is still equal till this day. I mean, even now, although we'll be performing new songs, I mean, whenever we get a show, Skwatta Kamp is still Skwatta Kamp. Skwatta Kamp is not the song really. The group is made by all the guys that have left us and the guys that are still present. You know what I mean? So for us, that's key, because we helped each other out. I guess by being who we are as kids. So there'll always be that kind of like working together. Siakana, las sakana corner. You know what I mean? It's what it is. Ricardo, thanks for the question, man.
Yeah, thanks for your honesty. Yo, man, I would just like to say, like, just out of pocket, you guys definitely owe us another album or another 10, with all due respect. And I won't rest until you guys do that. But until then, I'd like everyone to go out and retweet my pin tweet. We the come up. We the come up. We the future. We the ones who doing it. Yeah, inspired by y'all, obviously, and generations of South African hip hop. I would just like to leave it at that. Yo, shout out to y'all. You guys have done the most, and I believe you're still going to do the most. Shout out.
Thanks, man.
Thank you, bro.
I'm gonna go retweet right now. I'm retweeting. Rather die. Retweet.
What is it called? What are we retweeting? What are we retweeting? I think I missed that.
Official music video. Rather die.
I think that's my pin tweet. Yeah, it dropped on Sunday. The video dropped on Sunday. It's dope.
No.
Retweeting.
It's looking, the visuals are looking nice.
Smacks, I'll go retweet.
Retweetile na, retweetile vana. But the real direct ex Crazy Max 6 and myself. I got it.
Yeah. Yo, thanks for that. I really appreciate that, Joe.
No, it's all good, bro.
Cool. Let's go to the next. All right, the color piece, man. Let's move to our next person. Let's go Rockstar. Let's add you as a speaker. What's popping, my bro?
And what if it's the Rockstar we know, man?
No,
Which one?
Okay, no, it's not him. Okay, this guy's not the one we know. All right. Rockstar, Rockstar is Rilo's husband, everybody. So I was just checking it out.
He's got a burner account.
Yo,
He's got a burner
chicks.
account.
Yo.
What
Are
happened?
you Rilo?
Yo.
Yo, guys.
We could.
It's so good to finally actually have a word with you guys. Grew up listening to you guys. Yo, Skwatta baby. Guys. Yeah, it's good to be here. Just a quick question on you guys. How it's been a long way, eh? It's been like how many years? 10 years? 15, 20 years? Anyway.
20, my brother. 20 years since Cut and Join. So if you're on here and you vibed out to Rao Rao and Manisa, officially letting you know that's 20 years ago.
So show me something. What I just want to know is how does it feel now? I mean, with all the songs, with the guys that are no longer here, when you perform the song, how is it? How's the atmosphere? Like how do you feel? Because I know it must be a little bit, his part. We know if he was here, he was gonna kill it this way or this way, and yeah, how is it, guys?
Yeah, it's been interesting because there's so many things that you remember in each performance, and you'd know how Nish would dance, and we'd laugh at that, and we'd know how lazy Flavor was to jump, so he wouldn't jump. So there's certain elements of our performances that are great memories, and we can't turn around and think to ourselves that we're sad about us not being all together right now. But it's our memories really keep it much easier for us to deal with the whole situation. I think with we argue about who will do whose parts, and the fact that we have to still learn Nish's part for this album, and that's still going to be a meeting on its own. You know what I mean? So it's hard, but the memories, we can't take away from the memories. And Boss Max, am I wrong?
No. Definitely you're not wrong. I think for me, it's a case of really just feeling as if the guys have never left us. People are like, yo, how do you make the album like without Flavor, and how did everything go? But to be honest, when we're in the studio, it feels like the energy is still the same, and it feels like the guys are with us. I mean, on this new album, when it finally drops, E7 is the end. You will note that Nish actually came up with the title of the album. He was the guy that was spearheading all the recording sessions, making sure we're getting it done. When anybody was slacking, he was calling, saying, "Fana Gopi, come here, do this, come here, do that." So he's so instrumental in the making of this new album that he's all over it. We go with the spirits of Machita, like standard. I've never felt as if like by a short in the studio, and I hope that when you guys are listening, that the absence that I don't feel, I hope that you guys will also hear it, and appreciate it.
Yeah, I think to add to that, it's the only time I feel the absence is when we're on stage, because I don't even know my lyrics, and no one ever looked to me to say anyone else's lyrics. Now I must learn other people's lyrics now, so I feel it on stage. Now it's just hard to know people's lyrics. It's fun, man. Back in the day, okay, Flavor wasn't away. We knew that. I know Smacks and Emza will probably jump in the verses. Now we all have a job, so now we're doing double the work, so only on stage. I remember that Ish Gonja Machitaya show. You know what I mean? That time I'm trying to jump, and now I'm trying to remember someone's lyrics also, So yeah, that would be the only thing. But yeah, thanks Rockstar. Thanks for the question, man. Let's move to Brew and Chill. Remember, guys, the album is already available, but as a pre-order on Apple Music and Spotify. and we're about to have a conversation with Skwatta Kamp like in the next 3 minutes on Slikour Live. So please do tune on. We got them live right now. Let's get it. Let's get it. Thank you, Rockstar. Ruin, speak, unmute your mic. Let's go.
Good evening to the legends. Good evening to the host. Siyabonga, thanks for opening up the space. I think it's I talk for all listeners, perhaps also to say that Siyabonga kakhulu together we are able to have more music from you all, and shout out to you all for still being around and actually holding it up, as you'll always been doing. Can I say hi to you all first? And yeah.
No. All of Volksman. You hear my brother? Shout out to you. I think you can see your man of music, founder of It's Kinda Real, Brew and Chill, EHM House Music, and a space host. Yeah. So yo man, and I guess this just speaks to music, whether it's house, whether it's hip hop, if it's music, you enjoy it, and now we're here together, So that's great. And actually, Luke was a house DJ when he started, and actually
is a house DJ.
He's a house DJ. He's got a house album out. Actually, like he took it out. I think it was 09 or 2010. But I enjoyed it, and it was very good actually. So hey, shout out to you, folks.
Thanks, Max. So as a space host, I host quite a few music spaces, and I was actually wanting one of these days to share an invite for your guys. But yeah, perhaps you can still do it. But for the meantime, I'd like to know, right? As a fan of your music, as a supporter of the craft that you all did, and the craft that you still make. What is the impact that you're expecting from your music now? I mean, we're talking, as you said earlier, 20 years from Mama Heat's Labin now. But what is the impact you're expecting to actually do in terms of the music industry as a whole? I mean, today we have Ama 2000, who perhaps they've never heard of the Skwatta Kamp. And then there's millennials, people in the 30s who really banged those jams whilst in high school. And then those 30 something year olds to 40-year-olds who were really hip hop heads back in the day. Totally different generations of different times. But I want to know what impact, and also besides the impact that y'all want to perhaps make in the music industry, what do you need from us fans, supporters? Thank you.
Can I answer that?
No.
I mean, that's a good question, firstly. I think that, Volksman, we also need to understand, we've made I think we've done what we previously when we were using spreadsheet. I think we've done what we need to do, in the business, for hip hop in particular. What we're currently doing now, we're doing it because we literally enjoy each other's company and we love the music, But it's fair to say that, to a certain extent, we've kind of laid the foundation of the business of hip hop. You know what I mean? If we're blessed with more that we can do, that will be like I say, a blessing. It'll be an additional. But we also can't be guys who are trying so hard to say this is the mark we need to leave. I mean, I think a lot of people have picked up and done bigger things off the foundation that we've started, and we do this really just out of the fact that Natsi Abantu, we never did it because we wanted to be a big group. We wanted to change. We loved making music. We loved each other's company, and we just want to make the music, And if it takes us anywhere further than the music, then we're gonna go. So I believe that we've made an impact. And yes, number 2000 who might not know who we are, but that's still okay also, because when we were their age, we never knew some guys from the 80s also. It's just the way the world goes. But fortunately, we've got social media, we've got documentaries, we've got so much for people to know who we are if they're interested also. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. I think for now it's really about with this album, and I think where our hopes and dreams and aspirations are right now is just to say we're coming in to make good music because we enjoy making music. I think we know and we understand that within those markets you speak about, Vox, Ubuti, there's people that are 50 now that were 30 then. There's people that are, 40 now that were 20 then, and who grew up on the music and say, Ubuti, we still want to speak about the things that they're going through or might be experiencing now, and say like, hey, we're still a voice. Luckily, we're in hip hop music, so the music is pretty much like been solid and been the same, like in terms of like from a sound perspective, not 100% the same, but I mean, you get the vibe is there. There's an understanding between the generations and the music. So yeah, we're just really hoping people enjoy the message that we have to share. And I think for younger people, it's just to be like, hey, these guys are speaking about something I'm going through that maybe my peers aren't talking about. So hey, I find that relevant. I think it's like when Tupac talked about Brenda got a baby. Like people are going through teenage pregnancy, and if there's not enough songs about teenage pregnancy and we happen to speak about it, hey, maybe some younger person will connect. But if you're going through a divorce and we happen to speak about it, hey, maybe somebody else will be able to understand all of those things. So that's where we are, just about making good music and hoping people enjoy it. And I think really it's about cementing the foundation or the story of Skwatta Kamp and saying, with guys, here's the music we've done over the years. Let's make sure it's always available. Here's this, here's that, and documentaries and so forth. And just to make sure that the story can always be told, because it's also our responsibility to let people know that, hey, have you heard of Skwatta Kamp? No, and if not, here's the education behind it, because Skwatta Kamp is definitely a page in South African history